Brian Powell of I Run Far here with Clare Gallagher before the 2017 CCC. How are you, Clare?
Good, thanks. Excited to be here.
Welcome to Chamonix.
Yeah, thanks.
Is this your first visit here?
It is, yeah, and it's really hard to be tapering while here.
Please tell me you're going to do that.
Yeah. Oh, I am.
Okay.
It's just like impossible to look at things and not be running.
Well, that's exciting. I mean, will this be your first time really exploring the Alps? Or?
Yes, yeah.
So, like race day is...
Yeah, it's going to be everything.
All new. And
yeah, stoke will be high. My eyeballs are going to be very big.
And you get some good views starting out there over in Courmayeur.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll be like, I feel like it's my first day at like summer camp type of thing. It's just a different type of summer camp,
yeah.
You know? Like,
a longer, harder summer camp.
Yeah. Like,
But, so this is our first interview.
Yeah.
So,
I know.
For everybody who doesn't know you, I'd like to know a little bit more about your background with running and sports. How did you get into running in first? Yeah.
Cool, yeah. I ran high school, but cross country, and kind of did track meets, but mainly played lacrosse and was swimming. And then I ran cross country and track at Princeton for 4 years. So, yeah, that was, you know, the collegiate scene. So
you were all in on that, 3 seasons. What were you racing on the track?
Yeah, I was racing mainly steeple.
Okay.
So, you know.
Somewhat typical.
Yeah,
if somebody's coming from,
yeah, it's like, oh, my coach, God bless him, but he's like, oh, you're from the West. You can do steeplechase then. Like, just really stereotypical.
Wow.
Yeah, I wasn't that awesome at steeplechase, to be perfectly honest.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I did, but I definitely didn't like reach any like goals in college, I would say. Yeah.
And then you get done with college and you decide I'm just gonna start ultra running right away, or how did?
No, yeah.
It kind of look on paper it looks that way.
I know. Yeah, because I guess I'm young in the sport, but I moved to Thailand to teach English right after I graduated and needed a goal and wanted to explore, so I signed up for an 80K in northern Thailand. Like, this was 6 months after I graduated and fell in love with it. It was really bizarre. Like, we're talking Golden Triangle, so like Myanmar, Thailand, Laos. It was the first ever running of the race. The biggest issue was like vipers, was poisonous snakes. It was like, if you get caught by a poisonous stung, caught, stung, bit. You got to take a picture.
So they can identify
which anti-venom to use. Yeah, so that was my intro. And then I was like, wait, I'm kind of from the epicenter of ultra running. Maybe there's something here, being Colorado.
Yeah.
So yeah, I moved to Boulder after a couple years in Asia, and then essentially 8 months after being in Boulder, that's when I ran Leadville.
So, because you done 150K.
Yeah, I did a handful. Yeah, I did like a random one in Cimarron, Colorado, and North Face 50K in Park City.
But then Leadville happened, and all of a sudden you go from no one would have had a clue who you were to you ran the second fastest time at Leadville. That's a pretty quick transition to the top of the sport.
Yeah.
What do you think you owe that to?
Well, that's nice of you. But yeah, I think I had a lot of, like I said, unreached potential, and what I, you know, and stoke, like I was really wanted to do well in the collegiate scene and just never did. And then I sort of found my element in the trails, and so in the mental game especially. Do
you think that maybe not having reached that success in college like left you with something like a springboard, almost like when you found that in ultra running?
Totally. Like, yeah. And finding like a true element, being outside in the mountains and not caring about splits, or, you know, it's why we all trail run.
You can't.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're watching splits, it's not going to turn out very well. Yeah. So you went from that to having another strong run at the North Face, 50 mile, Black Canyon. It's some other race this spring, didn't you? Quad Rock.
Quad Rock.
I mean, you were fourth, but it was like a crazy race.
Yeah.
And then Western States happened. How do you process that?
Yeah, States it was a tough one. So I was running well until about 89 miles, and then I got what ended up being, it took me a while to figure this out, a Baker cyst behind my knee, which had been developing over the course of the race, I guess. And basically locked up my leg. I thought I like tore my hamstring. My hamstring's fine.
That's
it just
good.
was like a lot of knee stuff that just made it unable to move. So long story short, my race ended at 93 miles, which sucked because I was doing well up until then. I was in third. So yeah, and then I thought my season was going to be over for the year, and 10 days after states, I was like, I think I can go again.
Yeah?
Yeah. So I've had an insane summer.
How's that?
Just like I've been able now to train after being so devastated with this stupid DNF, like really, really aggravating to come so close, and I didn't even finish the race.
Yeah.
And I really think states, I already want to just nail it. You know, it's one of those just like, But that being said, I've just spent time in the mountains and in Silverton and you know, around Leadville and the Sawatch Range in Colorado. And
so you've gotten your mountain on this summer.
Yeah.
So you've transitioned from Western states, which has mountains but also is speed based.
Oh yeah, yeah, just pure flat. Yeah, I've now been doing actual mountains. Yeah.
Yeah. So you feel strong?
Yeah, I feel like a lot stronger than I was before states, to be perfectly honest. Yeah.
And I mean, CCC years ago was had a couple strong European runners, and that was it. And now it's as strong as, I mean, it's one of the strongest races in the world this year. If you take out UTMB out of the picture, it's huge.
Yeah.
Are you ready to face some really strong competition?
I'm so ready. I'm so ready, especially after states. And I've had a few smaller races, and my competitive fire is really here, but also the respect for these mountains because I haven't experienced them yet. So, like I said, kind of first day at camp, where I feel like a little bit of an underdog in some ways, and I kind of like that. And you know, we have like the American women in this race. It's stupid. It's like, it's comical how competitive it is. And then Natalie Montclair.
Maite Mayora.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of others. So like, I mean, there's some Americans you've probably raced, but there's a whole bunch of people that, I mean, at Western States, you had run against those women before.
Most of them.
There's some, yeah. But here it's.
Yeah. You know, I'll be like, where are you from? Yeah, so I don't even really know what to expect other than I hope I get to share some miles with some girls, you know.
You probably will out there.
Yeah.
Now, you just had stepping away from the CCC for a bit, you had an interesting experience. You just raced in Latvia.
Yeah.
How's trail racing in Latvia?
Trail racing in Latvia is really awesome. I speak very highly of it, even though you don't know what's going on at any moment. It's actually a very flat country, but there are some little hills here and there. So I got in a pretty good 30K with punchy hills in the middle of nowhere, Latvia. And there's this race series that travels around the country. To give you an idea, there's less than 2 million people in Latvia. 2,000 people show up at this race. So it's like a huge party, and then the party leaves, and then there's no one. It's like
just piles of crackers, right?
Yeah, exactly. Crackers and very nice beer.
Yeah.
So that was a bizarre trip that really was a personal trip because I was supposed to be visiting my brother who didn't happen to be there. Wasn't like we were talking about, you know, a Latvian race director did not call me up. They're like, what are you doing here?
You just wanted an incognito tune-up for
exactly, and it was perfect. Yeah.
Well, best of luck out there this weekend, Claire.
Thank you,
enjoy.
Ryan. Appreciate it.